Okay, so there have been tons of questions recently on here about copper bolusing. How much do I give? What do I use? Where do I get the equipment? Where do I get the products? So what started my knowledge of copper deficiency in goats was this information here from Shenandoah. And I printed this out a long time ago. I think the date on there is 2007, and that's about when I first started realizing that I had a copper problem, because in 2007 or 8 was my first year of kidding, and I had a lot of kid mortality, retained placentas, and just not very vigorous appetites on my does. So when I did necropsies on some of those dead kids and blood tests on the adult does, we realized that we had a major mineral problem. And so I did some research on copper deficiency, and this was a website that came up, Shenandoah. I have printed out the entire website because at that time I didn't have a smartphone like we do now, where you can just look up everything. And this information is amazing. I highly, highly recommend that everyone who has questions about copper go and find Shenandoah and read this entire thing. It breaks it down on what they need and all the other minerals and what causes it, and examples, and how the boluses work, and just a really amazing website. So go check it out. Everybody that has questions about copper deficiency, look at Shenandoah. So you can get your copper boluses. The way I do it is I get the calf size boluses, and it's in Valley Vet Supply. And in the vitamins section, you will find Copper Bolus. And it's for calves, but that's fine. So, Copper 12.5 milligrams. And if you notice, you can get a 25 count jar for $45. This one jar right here will make like 200 goat boluses, 200 or 300 goat boluses. So when you see now the Copper bolus for goats right below it, there's only 24 4-gram or 2-gram boluses, 4-gram boluses, 12 of them for $21. It's like ridiculous. Save yourself money and do not buy the Copper bolus for goats. Get the ones for calves. It's the exact same product. It's just going to take one more additional step. But your weight, your measurements will be more precise by using the bigger boluses and breaking them down. So in Shenandoah, they list all the weights, but it's 1 gram of copper per 20 pounds of goat. So get yourself a nice digital scale. I have a nice digital scale. And what you're going to do is these Copper boluses, I haven't even opened this one yet. Let me open this real quick and come back. Okay, so these Copper boluses that come for the calves that contain 12.5 grams are pretty large. I suppose if you had a really large buck or something, you could probably just give him this whole thing, one dose. It's 1 gram per 20 pounds. So if you have a 220 pound buck or something like that, you could probably just give him one of these whole things. You would have to use a calf gun, however, to do that for the the big boluses. I use a sheep bolus gun.